Lots of people have been signing up for our Compassa NEBOSH study books for NG1 and NG2. And right now I want to focus on the NG1 or IG1 study books because I want to show you how you can use these to help you pass your exam. Now, just a word of warning, usually you don't just find the answers in the study book. You know, NEBOSH questions check for understanding. It has a scenario and it tests your understanding of what's going on in the scenario. But I want to show you just how our study books are going to help you pull together some answers or the beginning of an answer in your exam paper. Now let's take a look at some potential questions. Let's take a look at this one first. Now notice with this one it's very short and it has no reference to the scenario whatsoever. It just says, why is it important to practice emergency procedures? It doesn't have any kind of stem like this one down here. It's just asking, why is it important to practice emergency procedures? That's a super theoretical question and you might actually find the answer in the Compassa study book. So let's take a look at that. Here is the National General Certificate study book, but the international one is broadly similar. Let's go to the table of contents, and I know, because I know my course, I know emergency procedures is covered in element 3. And if we go down here, we've got emergency procedures there. So, but if you don't want to do that, you could just like search. You could just like Control F, emergency procedures, and then kind of like work your way through all the mentions until you get there. And if we scroll down here, what we're looking for is why. Why should we do it? So we've got why should emergency need to be developed? Right, so no, that's not what the question's asking, is it? The question's asking why should we practice them? Okay, so why do we practice them? What to include in them? Training, and then we get down here, we've got the, oh, okay. Why do we need to be tested? Practice, tested, that's kind of the same thing, isn't it? We're talking about drills, fire drills, that kind of thing. All right, well, here we go then. This whole section here will talk about tests. And oh, look at this. Tests will help identify issues with. It's going to help identify issues with those. There you go. You got a nice list there. Nice list of things that you can use as part of your answer. Now, just be careful. I need to give you a big red flag here. It is not acceptable to just copy what we've put in this book and dump that in the exam answer sheet as your answer, because this is not your work, this is my work. I wrote this, so you need to write your own words. Now, of course, you can refer to this to help you compile an answer. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to refer to any document you like, but please write your own words. Because if you just copy and paste and dump that in, there's a very good chance you will be reported for malpractice, because NEBOSH will detect that you and some other people have accessed and used this, because you all have exactly the same answers. So please don't use this to cheat. That's not what it's there for. But here you have a nice cool list that can help you. Let's take a look at another question, which is a more common type of question. This is a legal question. Now, if you're an international student, you would have a different law on this. You might have C155, for example, instead of the Health and Safety at Work Act. But it's comments on how these duties may have been breached. Breached in this scenario by this employer. Now, of course, our study book is not going to have this scenario. It's not going to tell you how the duties were breached in this scenario, because this is a new scenario. But what we do have is we do have the duties under section 2, and we have them explained quite clearly. And we also have the same thing for the international students, for ILO 155. Let's go back to the table of contents, and we know that the law is in element 1, and we'll go to the Health and Safety at Work Act there. We'll click on that, and we'll scroll down until we find the duties of, what was it? The duties under section 2. Okay, so we're only interested in section 2 here, which would be the employer duties to employees. So, let's find section 2. There we are, section 2. There we are. So we've got a bit of a checklist there almost, haven't we? Checklist. How many marks is it? 10 marks. We need to find at least 10 breaches, maybe 12, 13 breaches. That would be good. And so we've got it all here. Look, it even includes like examples of things. Safe systems of work and all these duties here. It explains what that means. Safe place at work, safe access egress, safe environment, welfare, that. Just use it as a checklist. And section, we've got more examples here. More examples, a bit of a case study. And we've also got more stuff in section 2 around the policy and communicating the policy and consultation. Well, fantastic. Just use that as a checklist and then go through your scenario looking for examples that breach those duties. So for example, if there's a lot of dust in the air, if the process is just really dusty, there's wood dust everywhere, that would be a breach of the duty to provide a safe environment. And then you could say, well, all this dust in the air is very harmful to health, and that would be a failure to provide a safe environment, so far as is reasonably practicable. Let's say that you've got forklifts zooming around the workplace really dangerously. Well, that would be a failure to provide a safe place of work, because the place is not safe with all these vehicles zooming around. But then you could also say, hang on, that's also a failure to provide supervision, because the managers are not supervising the forklift drivers. They're failing to take action to stop the speeding. So that one example is actually two different breaches. There you go, you got 2 marks out of one issue there. Hey, sorry to interrupt the video. I hope you're finding this useful. If you want more information, we've got loads of free information on our YouTube channel. If you go into our channel playlists, you'll find a whole playlist called the 12 Steps to Smashing Your NG1, IG1, NEBOSH exam. And it'll go through the 12-step process that our students follow to get some of the highest pass rates in the NEBOSH e-learning industry. If you would like even more help, then you can head over to our website, compassa.co.uk, click on NEBOSH Exam Help, and you'll also find study books that you can download for both the national and international general certificates. And without further ado, let's get back into it. Let me give you one final example. And in this case, I'm going to use the International General Certificate book that you've got. This question here is, discuss whether the organization's approach to workplace inspections is adequate. Now, of course, our book is not going to say whether it is adequate or not, because this question is based on the scenario, and we don't have the scenario until it comes out. But what our study book does do is that it explains workplace safety inspections and what a good inspection looks like, how it's planned and how it's organized and how it works. It explains what a good approach, because here it's asking about an approach. What does a good approach look like? Right. So take what we say in the course materials, compare that to what's going on in the scenario, and then you can discuss the differences. You can say, well, it's really good in some ways because a good inspection is like this and they do that, and a good inspection does this and they also do that, and it's also bad in some ways because a good inspection does this, but they're not doing that at all. Instead they're doing that, and that's really not very good. Can you see how you might use the course materials for this? So if we go to the International Study Book, and let me just find the table of contents as quickly as I can here. We've got types of health and safety inspection, main features of a safety inspection. So we'll go there. What does a good inspection look like? Well, I'm kind of just scrolling down. Well, there we go, look. Main features of a safety inspection. So you've got, it's regular, it's scheduled, reality, you've got a standard, carried out by a competent person, there's a report, issues are corrected, checklist maybe, focus on hazards. Okay, so we can scroll down looking for more stuff. Look, all this, look, we put things in bold as well to kind of help you see. If I keep scrolling down, I'll find some more stuff about inspections. There you go, competence, objectivity of people doing them. We've got, loads of stuff about the inspector, checklists, the action plan. Good inspection results in action plans to fix the issues identified and who's going to do it, and clear priorities, deciding the priorities and that kind of thing. And so there you go. There's loads of stuff about how we should do a good safety inspection. So just compare what's going on in your scenario with what's in the course materials. If you wanted to join us and buy our study books here, you'll find them on our website, compassa.co.uk. Just go to NEBOSH Exam Help, and then if you're doing a National General Certificate, there they are. You've got both of them. You've got bundled up there if you want. International General Certificate is there. They are very reasonably priced for what they are. And if you click on Enroll Now and follow the checkout process, you'll get an email with a link and you can download it instantly. And just to give you an idea of the size, just look at the size. Look. That's NG1, 486 pages. IG1, 370 pages. Like, they're big documents. You get a lot of information there for your money. Anyway, any questions about how those work, please drop us a comment. See you in the next video. If you're regretting your choice of course provider and you'd wish you studied with me instead, there's no problem. You can. Why don't you head over to Google right now and Google Compassa Rescue. Search for that and go to our rescue package. This is available for both international and national general certificate students. Perhaps your course is expired. Perhaps you've failed one of the assessments and you don't know what to do next. Perhaps you're just not happy with the level of teaching or support you're getting from your course provider. In that case, come check out the rescue package and click on Apply Now. We will offer you a very, very special discount so that you can get access to our full general certificate course with all of my tutor support, all of our mock exam support, NG2, IG2 project support, all of our video tutorials, study books, PDF guides. You will get everything that we offer to our own students. And then you will have a chance of joining us with some of the highest pass rates in the NEBOSH e-learning industry.